Welcome to the Deep Dive. You're here because, well, you want to be savvy, right? Especially when you're traveling, and that hotel room is your temporary HQ.
Mm-hmm.
So today, we're doing a deep dive into some pretty surprising hotel secrets. We're looking at an article, 10 Most Shocking Hotel Room Secrets That You Should Know.
Right.
And our goal, really, is to pull out those eye-opening bits, give you some insights, make your next stay, more informed without making you paranoid.
Exactly. No biohazard suits needed. Just a little peek behind the curtain of the hospitality world so you can navigate things with a bit more awareness.
Okay, let's start with one that honestly made me pause. Those drinking glasses in the room.
Ah, yes. The sparkling ones.
They look so clean, so inviting. But this article, it throws a bit of a curveball. It suggests, especially maybe more budget-friendly places,
Uh-huh.
they might just get a quick rinse with water and a wipe with a towel. That's it.
Yeah, it really hits on that gap between, our assumptions
Mhm.
and what might actually be happening behind the scenes. You see shiny, you think spotless, but maybe it's a time-saving thing for some staff.
It definitely raises a question for you, doesn't it? About, well, what level of clean is okay for you?
It really does. Makes you think, maybe I should just pack my own problem mug next time.
Maybe an easy fix, yeah.
Okay, so moving on slightly. Room categories. You book a, say, Deluxe King. You've seen the photos online.
You have an image in your head.
Exactly. But the article points out not all rooms labeled Deluxe King are actually identical, even at the same price.
And that's a really key thing for listeners to be aware of. The label gives you a general idea, size, amenities, sure.
But the specifics can vary.
They really can. You might pay the same as the room next door, but your balcony's tiny, or the bathroom layout is just awkward.
Yeah.
It can sometimes feel a bit like, well, luck of the draw, honestly.
It really can feel like a gamble sometimes, can't it? You hope you get the room from the picture.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, let's talk about something that sounds amazing. Free breakfast.
Ah, the big one. It's a huge draw for people booking hotels, isn't it?
Yeah.
That feeling of getting something extra. But the article suggests maybe we should look a bit closer.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about how hotels price their rooms,
Yeah.
it becomes pretty clear, doesn't it?
That the cost is just in there already.
Pretty much always. It's baked into the overall room rate. It's marketing, it implies value. And look, it can be convenient, maybe cheaper than going out for breakfast.
True.
But it's not actually free, it's bundled, so maybe you see a lower room rate somewhere without breakfast included.
You should do the math.
Exactly. Do a quick calculation. How much would you normally spend? Does the free breakfast premium make sense for you? Sometimes opting out saves you money.
That's a really smart way to approach it. It's more of a package deal.
Precisely.
Okay, speaking of deals, what about those discounted rooms you sometimes see? Lower price tags? The article gives some insight into why those specific rooms might be cheaper.
Right. And while spoiler alert, it's usually not because the hotel is just feeling generous.
Probably not.
From the hotel's viewpoint, these are often the, let's say, least desirable rooms. Maybe smaller, maybe the view is of an air conditioning unit.
Or the noisy elevator.
Or the ice machine, exactly. Or they're just rooms that are harder to sell at the standard rate for whatever reason. So yeah, you might save cash, but it's probably wise to manage your expectations about the room itself.
That makes total sense. You get what you pay for, often.
Hmm.
Now, this next one, I found this quite surprising. The idea that you could show up, booking confirmed and everything,
Yeah.
and be told, sorry, no room for you, being walked, they call it. That sounds like a nightmare for a traveler.
It does sound awful, but it's a thing. It connects to hotel booking practices. Overbooking, selling more rooms than they actually have is pretty common.
Really? Why?
Well, they do it to maximize occupancy. They anticipate a certain number of cancellations or no-shows. It's a calculation.
Okay.
And the article rightly notes that if they are overbooked, they might prioritize, say, their regular guests or loyalty members.
So you could be bumped.
It's possible, but, and this is crucial for listeners to know, if a hotel walks you, they are generally obligated to find you similar accommodation nearby.
Oh, okay.
And they should cover the cost difference, maybe even transportation. So while it's a huge hassle, there should be a resolution.
That's somewhat reassuring, at least. Good to know. Now, what about those signs? No vacancy.
Yeah.
You drive past, you assume, okay, they're totally full.
Right. Not a single bed left.
But the article suggests maybe not always.
Yeah, that sign can be a bit more strategic sometimes. It often means they have very few rooms left, maybe just a handful.
Why hold them back?
Could be for emergencies, last-minute VIPs, or maybe as replacements if another guest has a major issue with their room, like a leak or something.
Oh, okay.
So while they're close to full, it doesn't automatically mean every single room key is assigned.
Interesting. So it might just mean better book fast if you want one.
Pretty much. Limited availability.
Okay, let's say you do get checked in, you get to your room,
Yeah,
it's just not right, it's noisy. Or the view is definitely not what was promised.
disappointing.
The article reminds us you can ask for a room change.
Absolutely. You're the paying guest. You have the right to say if you're not happy. But the reality is, whether they can move you depends entirely on how full the hotel is right then.
If they have other rooms available?
Exactly. If they're genuinely sold out, your options might be pretty limited. But it never, ever hurts to ask politely. State your case calmly.
Good advice. Always worth asking. Now, this next tip from the article was a bit unorthodox.
Which one was that?
Avoiding cancellation fees. It suggested calling to, like, postpone your booking
Ah, right. Postpone first.
and then call back later, hoping you get a different person on the phone, and then cancel.
Yes, I remember reading that. It's certainly creative.
What do you make of that for our listeners?
Yeah.
Sounds risky.
Oh, absolutely. It's relying entirely on chance, isn't it? And hoping for, frankly, an inconsistency in how the hotel handles things or how different staff members apply the rules.
Yeah.
It is definitely not a guaranteed way to dodge a fee. Could easily backfire or just cause more confusion. It's important we say, this was in the source, but we're certainly not endorsing it as a reliable strategy.
Agreed. File that under use extreme caution. Or maybe just don't.
Probably don't.
Okay, let's shift to something probably on a lot of people's minds. Cleanliness.
Yeah.
Especially maybe in mid-range places, like 3-star hotels. The article had some points here.
Yes, and it focused on things beyond just the obvious surfaces. It suggested, for instance, that duvets, the actual comforters.
Not just the covers.
Right. The duvets themselves might not get changed between every single guest. Maybe not as often as the sheets. And even bed linens, it claims, might not always get a full wash every time in some places. And then there's the germ hotspot.
Let me guess. The TV remote.
Bingo. The remote control, apparently often overlooked during cleaning and potentially teeming with germs.
Ugh. Okay, note to self.
Yeah.
Pack sanitizing wipes.
Might not be a bad idea, honestly. A quick wipe down when you arrive, just for peace of mind.
Definitely makes you think twice before channel surfing.
Okay.
Finally.
Yeah.
We get to a rather sensitive topic.
Okay.
The possibility that someone might have passed away. In a hotel room. The article suggests the hotel probably wouldn't tell you if that had happened.
Yes, this is a delicate one, and you can understand the hotel's perspective from a purely business angle, right?
I suppose.
They likely worry that disclosing something like that, however sensitively, could really deter future guests, put
I
people
bet.
off staying in that room or maybe even the hotel.
So they just don't mention it.
That seems to be the suggestion. Whether it's standard practice everywhere is hard to say, but it adds, well, another layer to the potential history of the room you're staying in. Something to be aware of, even if it's unlikely to ever come up directly.
Definitely gives you something to ponder. Wow. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive into hotel secrets, what are the main things our listeners should really take away?
Well, I think, firstly, just being a bit more questioning about things you assume are clean, like glasses or even bedding sometimes. Questioning, not paranoid.
Right.
Understanding that free breakfast isn't really free helps you compare deals better. Knowing that discounted rooms often mean less desirable rooms helps manage expectations.
Good point.
Also remembering that room categories aren't always uniform and that while you can ask for a change, it's not guaranteed. And just being aware that overbooking happens, though hotels should sort you out if you get walked.
And these aren't necessarily true for every single hotel room.
Oh, absolutely not, especially places with really strong reputations for quality and service. But these are potential realities in the industry that are good to know about.
Definitely. It's all about just being a more informed traveler, knowing what might be going on behind the scenes. So here's a final thought for everyone listening to maybe chew on. Considering everything we've talked about, the glasses, the remotes, the free stuff, what are some actual practical steps you might take next time you stay in a hotel, just to feel a bit more comfortable and in control?
Good.
Maybe it really is packing that travel mug, or bringing wipes, or maybe just asking specifically, is this room near the elevator when you check in? Little things.
Little things that empower you, yeah. Taking a bit more control of your own travel experience.
Exactly. Well, thanks for diving duck with us today.